Yeah.
You want to like them, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here,
Straight
man.
gangsters.
Ah.
Yeah. Good morning and welcome back. You are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. I am one of your favorite hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
Yes, and all of that is true, and I'm very proud of that. The man on that other microphone, he is a great American, he is a great patriot, and he is also one of your favorite hosts.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is your boy Chris America coming to you live this Thursday, August the 15th, 2019. And it is going to be a great Thursday here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio, Loudbeard, and I'm excited.
You sound excited.
Should, Thick Milkshake Thursday be a thing? I feel like it should.
Well, I've never thought of it as a thing, but now that you mention it, it does sound kind of delicious.
It is scrumdiddlyumptious.
Now, is that leading into something, or are you just thinking about
just
milkshakes?
random thoughts about milkshakes and boys to the yard.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. It's very interesting. Okay, well,
I do have an
your
interesting
milkshake.
story if you want.
Is it about milkshakes?
No, it's about TVs.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with your interesting story.
Well, where was this at? In Virginia, Loudbeard, neighborhoods woke up, went out to their front step, and they found a free television just sitting on their porch.
Oh, is the Trojan horse?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It was just a random old TV set.
Okay.
And so there was a whole bunch of them left in this neighborhood on people's porches. And you know how we have those doorbells with cameras on them?
Yes. Yep. The ringer.
Well, one of them caught the suspect, and he's also wearing a TV on his head. I'm gonna go ahead and tweet out this image on our Twitter handle. But Loudbeard, a guy is going around with. Oh wow, Jenny of Ohio coming in. Does y'all's favorite listener get an intro too?
I think we can make that happen. So, David Green, if you're out there, we're going to get you an intro.
Let's see here. I'm going to tweet this out as heard on today's show. Guy leaves TVs on doorsteps. And then I'll post it, and then you can check it out and tell me what you think of it. All right, it's posted.
Okay.
So you can check that out now on @ScoutTeamRadio, @ScoutTeamRadio on Twitter.
I feel like I'm missing something. I'm waiting for the zinger at the end of this story.
There is no zinger. It's just a random guy just leaving TVs on doorsteps. Is it college students who are bored? Is it just some crazy guy? Do you see this?
I do see it. It's pretty funny now. Okay. All right.
That's the zinger is the picture. That's why I had to send you the picture.
If you were on Facebook, you right now would be considered a visual storyteller.
I would be.
Yes. Okay, so when I put my TV on, if somebody just drops off a nice TV or monitor or anything like that for me, what I would do is I'd put on some football is what I'd do, Chris America. I would watch football on that TV just so I would respectfully give the guy that dropped off the TV on my doorstep, show him that I really appreciated it.
These are outdated boxes. They were found at more than 50 homes, and one of the people the news talked to was they got a style TV 13-inch. So I don't even know if you can watch football on these old TV sets. Didn't we convert to? You'd have to go buy one of those digital converters.
Probably, and it would look like Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl when you actually watched it on that TV.
Now, this person, I don't know how much money they have, but I would have messed with some of this neighbors even more. I would have left a whole bunch of these old TVs, but then I would just randomly place 3 ridiculously good 4K Ultra best 55-inch TVs, and then make the neighbors decide, why did I get the best TV, or why did they get the best TV and I didn't? Make them think that it was one of the neighbors. Some of the neighbors are cooler than the others. Maybe I'll leave little notes. I'll leave notes on them that say you deserve this, and on each of the TV. So when they see their neighbor with the big screen TV that says you deserve it, and they see their 13-inch tube TV that says you deserve this, then it just really starts messing with them.
Okay. Well, I would let you fund buying the really nice TV for the one neighbor. I'll let you handle that part. So as long as you're funding it for me, yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in.
I'm glad you're all in if I'm funding it.
Yes, that's all we need is a little money. You need to be the money man wearing your money suit, and you can take care of getting one of them 4K, UHD, whatever TVs.
I'll just leave this in the pile of pranks I'll pull off when Scout Team Radio takes off.
Yeah, that's a good one. A few years back, TVs that were a little they weren't flat TVs. They were kind of angled. You know what I'm talking about? To give you a U effect.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Those were popular. I feel like I don't see
curved
those anymore.
TVs, right?
Yeah, the curved TVs. Did those not take off? I haven't been to a
I don't
TV
think
buying
so.
store.
Those were I feel like they were a big deal for 2014?
Yeah, 2014, 2015, and then all of a sudden people are like, "Yeah, no, I just want a flat TV. I can't even have that on my wall."
I remember looking at the curved TVs at the store and just thinking, I don't see a difference really. I don't know. Just didn't see it.
Gotcha. Oh, well, Chris America, I'm going to talk football for you here a little bit. Tonight is preseason action, so we're getting week 2 in the NFL, and I think this is a big deal, right? We get to watch some football action. Now, there's only 5 matchups on tonight. That's okay, though, because my Washington Redskins are playing, so it's an important night for all of us. So I'm going to do a little impromptu, Who's Your Daddy? What games tonight are important to you, and who do you think's going to win? So we're going to do this real quick. We won't go over too much because it is preseason, and it probably doesn't matter too much in the end. But Nick Foles and the Jacksonville Jaguars roll into town to face the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Foles' former team. Chris America, Eagles, Jaguars.
Who's your daddy?
I'm going Jaguars, just because I wanted to say Jaguars.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. See
That's
where
how
you're going
I'm
there?
breaking down preseason games.
All right, broken down. All right, we get action with the young Sam Darnold in his sophomore season. Is he able to mount some sort of credible season, starting with this victory or possible defeat against Matt Ryan, the savvy veteran of the Atlanta Falcons? So, Chris America, New York Jets versus Atlanta Falcons.
Who's your daddy?
I'm going Jets, just because I wanted to say Jets after Jaguars.
All right. Now, the Green Bay Packers are in action after seeing Aaron Rodgers not know how to chug a beer. We get to see him on the football field, maybe for a play or two, or maybe not at all, go against the Baltimore Ravens. That's right, Baltimore Ravens. I think there's some listeners out there that like that team with Lamar Jackson and company. So who do you got? Packers, Ravens.
Who's your daddy?
I'm going to go Packers. Just because, our favorite listener is getting a little cocky out there. So we got to, make sure.
Okay, for the record, I'm going Ravens on this one just because,
okay.
I show that Maryland love for both my teams up there. Just throwing that out there. Plus, I think the Ravens are going to be exciting this season. Yeah, the Ravens aren't my team. I have one team, but I'm hamming it up. All right, next one. This is a tough decision. In real life, like if this was week 1, this would be difficult because we don't really know what either of these teams are going to be. But the Bengals, the Red Rocket, injured AJ Green against my Washington Redskins. Chris America.
Who's your daddy?
I think Haskins has to bounce back. You mentioned he was over-criticized. This is a game where he's got to prove, like, I belong here. I belong in the NFL. I belong being the number 17 pick. And I should have been the number 6 by the Giants.
Yeah. And in all fairness, and again, I am a fan, so I can't have a biased opinion, but I think this is pretty neutral. He actually, other than the 2 interceptions, which are terrible, absolutely terrible, I'm not giving him, he actually threw the ball pretty well. I think he was pushing a little bit too close to the edge, and that's why some of those picks were done. But he was really throwing the ball well, and he did good other than the interception. So if he can kind of get that narrowed down, I think he'll be all right. It's okay. Interceptions in preseason and in practice really don't mean a whole lot. Or do they? All right, last matchup. This is a big one. The Hard Knocks legends starring John Gruden and Antonio Brown. Yes, that's right. The Oakland Raiders are going up against the beautiful Cliff Kingsbury, the beautiful Kyler Murray, and the Arizona Cardinals. So, Chris America, Raiders versus Cardinals.
Who's your daddy?
I think this is one of those games where Cliff Kingsbury, being the rookie coach, also trying to prove himself, I think he opens up his playbook way too early and does it in the preseason, and they win just because they do that.
All right, so you're saying strategic mistake, but it helps them win a preseason game.
Yep.
Okay, that's not too bad. Now I'm gonna segue this. Again, we know preseason, it doesn't matter for a whole lot, but it is a good opportunity to see some of these young players. You mentioned Haskins. I'm kind of curious to see how he bounces back. I'd like to see that. If Lamar Jackson's out there, I'd like to see what he is going to bring to the field this season for the Baltimore Ravens. You know, Darnold, he's got a lot to prove. Kyler Murray out on the field. So definitely some good opportunities to see some of these young players and see how they've prepared and how they're ready for the big spotlights here on Thursday Night Football. This is awesome. So I want to segue that to another player, Jimmy Garoppolo, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this is probably an overreaction, but reports come out that Jimmy Garoppolo in practice yesterday has one of the worst practices of his career, of his life. And he at one point threw 5 consecutive interceptions in a scrimmage. And, media is starting to get a little hyped about this. Now, I want to pose this to you, Chris America. Jimmy Garoppolo, we didn't really get to see a whole lot out of him, right? Because he got injured. He was out basically the entire season last season, or was it preseason he got hurt? It might have been the whole season. I can't remember. And then the season before, he didn't play the entire year, but we saw glimpses of him looking good towards the end of the year. Have we anointed him to be a great quarterback before he's actually proved it on the field?
What was your question, Lambert? I'm sorry.
Jimmy Garoppolo, have we anointed him to be a great quarterback before he's actually proved it on the field?
For
5
sure.
interceptions in practice the other day. 5 in a row, consecutive. Can't even throw it to his own team.
I mean, I felt they did that before the 5 interceptions. I don't read into interceptions at practice, though, Ladbeard. That happens. You're allowed to have those at practice. But, yeah, we did. And that's what we do with all of the Tom Brady backup quarterbacks, isn't it?
Yeah, we do. They're the next big thing. Matt Castle, Ryan Mallett, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, the list goes on and on. These players that we have said are going to be great players. And have we seen anything out of a Tom Brady protege?
We have not. We've seen absolutely nothing.
Well, Matt Castle did have that one really great season when Tom Brady got hurt. So that means
you mean
something,
that season
right?
that you mean that season that he didn't make the playoffs?
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
do
that was
kinda
the
mean that
season
one.
the Miami Dolphins won the division.
In all fairness,
The one and only season.
in all fairness, it was an 11-win team that season, and an 11-win team did not make the playoffs. That's very rare.
Mhm.
Though the fact that it happened to the Patriots still gives me a warm and fuzzy because
Oh, I
they've
bet
already
it
won
does.
enough. Yeah, out of all the teams, I don't feel bad for them at all. Zero empathy. Zero sympathy. Zero what-a-thee. Zero.
0 tears,
0 tears.
0 sniffles.
All right. So other football news. 3-year anniversary. We're talking 49ers. Colin Kaepernick puts out a little dedication video kind of commemorating 3 years ago is when the kneeling began. That is when his protests began. And so 3 years. I can't believe it's been that long. Doesn't that seem like a long time ago?
3 years. You know, when I think of 2016, I think it was last year, Loudbeard, all the time.
Yeah, it's really more of a blur. It's like you blink, and it's 2038. George Jetson and family live now. Time flies by. As we get old men, time becomes less of a constraint. You know, like it's a thing. No big deal. 2016 was yesterday. I think 1993 feels like 2 weeks ago.
Oh gosh, 1993 does.
That's a good year, though.
You know, you go to bars now, Loudbeard, and you know how some of them will have that if you're born before date things, then you can't
Yes.
drink or whatever. And I see 1998 on there, and I'm like, oh, 1998. People born in 98 can drink now.
Yeah, people born when we were in high school can drink.
Yeah,
We're old people, man.
we are.
That's what happens. I already feel the early onset of Alzheimer's coming on because I can't remember names or dates or people. But, you know, it's cool. I remember this random sports stuff. So it's kind of cool. Us old people.
Yeah, you remember sports stuff, but you can't remember like the important stuff.
Yeah. You know, like my wife's birthday. Oh, wait, that's this week, by the way. Shoot.
Oh, it's always the day after my birthday,
Yeah, but it's easy to
which
keep
sucks
in
because
mind,
every
yeah.
time, like usually I invite you out the day after my birthday because that's usually when it falls on a weekend.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't. I got my mom's birthday.
Yeah,
Or, you're not
yeah.
your mom's. Your wife's birthday.
Yep. Yeah, we've already had that discussion. It's kind of sad. You're like, hey, what are you doing Saturday?
What are you doing Saturday?
I'm like, got some dinner plans. You know, wife's birthday. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I can't skip out on that one, buddy. That would be.
No, and I get it.
I might have to
get
come
it.
live with you
Yeah.
because I probably wouldn't be welcome in my own home any longer.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, it's terrible. All right, so 3-year anniversary of the Neil. We'll move on from that. It's amazing that it's still such a big deal in the news that the stories keep kind of coming up about it, but we won't get into the political side of it. That always seems like it brings down the show. Here, I got another debatable topic for you because I need you this morning to embrace debate, Chris America.
All right, let's
Gerald
embrace debate.
Let's do it. Gerald McCoy. You know who he is, right? Defensive
Yes.
tackle, formerly of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was drafted early on by the Bucs. I think he was 3rd overall or 5th overall, something like that, by the Bucs. He was a defensive tackle. He's had a lot of great seasons, Pro Bowler, and yeah, he comes out and he says, you know, he feels like he's been disrespected. He feels like the Bucs disrespected him. His jersey number 93, he felt like that should have been a little bit more sacred than what the Bucs did. He said that as soon as he's gone off of the team and Ndamukong Suh gets signed, and the Bucs immediately give him Gerald McCoy's number, and he says that's disrespectful, man. What he did for that team, the Pro Bowls, the just being there, being a captain, that they should have not been so hasty to give away his number. Now, Warren Sapp, who is a true Tampa Bay Buccaneers legend, comes out in the defense of the Tampa Bay organization, and he says, Gerald McCoy, he's no Bucs legend. He doesn't have any ground to stand on in his complaint or the Bucks being disrespectful. So I ask you, Chris America, are the Bucks disrespectful for giving away Gerald McCoy's jersey number, or is Warren Sapp right? Is Gerald McCoy really no Bucks legend?
Yeah, I think Gerald McCoy is no Bucks legend. And it's kind of unfair for Gerald McCoy, but when you're good to great on a really bad team, people don't really remember you, especially if you're a defensive lineman like that.
Well, do you think the fact that he went to the Carolina Panthers, a Buccaneers arch rival, do you think that hurt his legend
A little bit,
status?
a little bit, yeah. There's a little bit of that where you go to a rival, you go to a team that you play twice a year in the same division, and yeah, I remember thinking Gerald McCoy is a solid player, but I've never been blown away, or you've never seen him in the discussion of, is Gerald McCoy one of the top defensive linemen in the league, like top 2 or top 3? Like, he's never been a part of that discussion.
Yeah, he really hasn't. And maybe, like you said, it's because he's been on a bad team. When you're on a bad team, you don't get the love or the respect that you quite deserve. Now,
Not always, but then you see like Mac when he was on the Raiders, he got a lot of respect because he was sacking quarterbacks all the time.
Yeah.
And McCoy just never rose to that level that the Max and Aaron Donald?
Yep.
He never rose to that level on the defensive side of the football like those guys did.
Okay. This is fair. You bring in some fair points here. Now, I will argue that Gerald McCoy, being a Pro Bowler and what he has done, he has been at the top of his position, but not necessarily the best, right?
Right.
He's probably maybe top 2 or 3 in the league at defensive tackle, but maybe not the best. When you think of, defensive linemen, you think of a guy like Aaron Donald, who is the best. Gerald McCoy was never Defensive Player of the Year consideration. He was never that guy. And the Bucks never had any team success with him. If they won a Super Bowl, it would be a little bit different. So I think it is a little disrespectful, but honestly, he did have a pretty good career with the Bucks. I mean, not 9 seasons. And
which is crazy to think. Like, I feel like Gerald McCoy was coming out of Oklahoma like 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's that time situation that we never really. It's crazy.
Do you think he rose to like Warren Sapp status with the Bucks? Like, do you even think he got Warren Sapp good?
No.
Or Ndamukong Suh good?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was Ndamukong Suh good.
Okay.
Ndamukong Suh, he was
a lot
good
of his
at one point.
was a lot of his antics too.
Yeah, his was more attitude. See, like Gerald McCoy was a really great teammate, and he was not a troublemaker, right? So that's always a good thing. Like you play 9 seasons with a team, you don't cause any trouble, and I mean, I'm gonna throw out sack numbers over the last 6 or 7 years here.
Okay,
he had 6 sacks, 7 sacks, 8.5, 8.5, 9.5 over the last 6 years. So, I mean, quality sack numbers for a defensive tackle. It's not like he's an edge rusher. If he's an edge rusher, that probably doesn't look so good. But as a defensive tackle, as a guy that's clogging up the middle, he's got quality sack numbers, pretty quality tackle numbers. I mean, the guy's got a decent career, but he isn't a legend. He isn't a Bucks legend. And Warren Sapp, he has every right to sound off. When you think of legends in the Bucks organization, and it does revolve around that Super Bowl winning season, you think of guys like John Lynch. You think of guys like Mike Allstott, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks. You think of these guys. Gerald McCoy comes in that conversation well after a lot of these other names that I've already mentioned.
And it wasn't just the Super Bowl, it was just the fact that defense was so good as a unit. And that's why we know all their names.
It's true. But
when you're in Tampa, a secondary, maybe even a third-dairy market of the NFL, and you're not good, like your team's not good, you're not going to get noticed. It's hard.
I really liked that word, third-dairy.
Third-dairy,
Is that in the dictionary?
Yep, I just added it.
I've never heard it used, but it seems very logical.
It does.
You're like Mr.
It works.
Spock today. You are
It
the
does.
Mr. Spock of the show.
It works.
All right, so another guy similar to Gerald McCoy that came out, and I don't know that he ever lived up to the billing. He's had a quality career, but some injuries have plagued him from year to year. Jadeveon Clowney, you know, the number one guy coming out of South Carolina years back. He has now got that franchise tag going on with Houston, and he doesn't like that. These players, they hate the franchise tag because it's just a one-year deal. Even though it's typically a high dollar amount, these players don't want to play on this franchise tag. So Jadeveon Clowney has not showed up to any preseason activities, and he's, you know, basically pulling the old holdout until the very end. Now, the Texans, there have been many, many rumors that this guy is on the trade block. We've got the Dolphins rumored, which seems like it's been a little dispelled, but Dolphins rumored, Eagles rumored, Steelers rumored. Could this be a guy that moves teams, a guy that was once considered possibly the next great pass rusher in the NFL?
You know, Jadeveon Clowney he never came close to meeting the hype. He's, again, he's a good defensive player. You like him on your team, but he's not in the discussion with the J.J. Watts or, again, the Max or any of those guys. He's just not. So it's hard to call him a bust because he was good, but I think you can call him a bust because of how much hype and the fact of where he was drafted, and he just never lived up to it.
Yeah, he really hasn't, and he's had some good seasons, but the injuries I also put in there because you got to stay healthy. These players have to stay healthy, and you know sometimes injuries aren't their fault, right? Like it's just part of the game.
JJ Watt gets injured all the time, but he still, once he's on the field, he makes a difference.
That's true. Yeah, I look back at JJ Watt, and you think the guy disrupted so many ways. Not only was he putting up huge sack numbers, he always had his hand up, and he had like deflections. He would have interceptions. He would be, you know, pick sixes. Like he would be disruptive in so many different facets of the game.
So many quarterback hurries.
Yeah. Guys were like, okay, I'm gonna bootleg away from JJ Watt just in case.
Like we're gonna run away from JJ Watt too. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that's the type of situation.
And so think about it. Clowney's on the same field as J.J. Watt, and if you got one guy being such a disruptor and taking a lot of attention, you're supposed to be exploiting that as the other player, the other teammate. And if he was supposed to be living up to this hype that he had, him and J.J. Watt should have been a dynamic duo, and it never was that. It was just J.J. Watt.
Yeah, and now Clowney could be coming into his own, and pass rushers, they do typically take 3 to 4 solid years before they start to hit their prime. Now, Clowney's at that point or a little bit past that point now, so this is his prime, but I don't think the Texans are ready to invest a long-term contract in him because what you're saying, he hasn't been that fully disruptive force that they've needed, especially alongside J.J. Watt. They've wanted something more out of Jadeveon Clowney, and he's been good. So what do you do with a player like that? The teams get the tool to be able to do the franchise tag. And what do the players now have figured out? Well, if you franchise tag me, I'm just going to hold out. And it's become kind of a circus in the NFL.
It has. And it's not even like really a holdout. I don't consider it a holdout because, I mean, I guess you are, but you're not signed to a contract. You don't have a job. So it's hard to say that I'm not showing up to camp when I don't have a job currently. You've offered me a contract, and I just haven't accepted your contract offer. And that to me is different from a holdout.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right. It's just like, okay, I'm not signing my contract.
The media plays it as like, oh, this guy's still on the team. Like, no, technically he's not on the team. He's unemployed, and he just can't sign with any other team but the team that he was on because of the way that the CBA is written up. But if he decides like, hey, I'm going to be done, like he owes the NFL nothing. He has no commitment to the Texans. He hasn't given the Texans a word and then he's broken it. Like the other holdouts that you have, like Ezekiel Elliott, he's not signed to any contract. He's just unemployed. He's a free agent. Well, not really a free agent. He's a restricted agent, I guess, is what you would call it.
Yeah, and the loophole there is that being part of the NFL Players Association, your association agreed to the collective
Right.
bargaining agreement,
Right.
which gave the team the power to be able to hold your rights and offer you this tender
Exactly.
of a franchise tag. So you're basically in limbo. Like, you have to sign it if you want to play. If you don't want to play, you can hold out, and they continue to hold your rights, and you
Yes.
can't go to another team. So
Right.
it's
So I mean, in the reality, he's following the rules. Like, it's not like he's trying to go play for another team or signing a contract and showing up to practice somewhere saying, "Screw your rules, I'm still here." Now, obviously, other NFL teams won't do that, but you get what I'm saying.
I
If he
have
were to
no
go
idea
if
what
he were to
you're
go
saying.
sign a contract with the CFL right now, he could, because he owes the NFL nothing. Like, the NFL
Okay.
couldn't stop him from playing football anywhere else, right? As far as outside of the NFL, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Now,
no,
why
I-
he would do that, I don't know, but
Yeah, I think you could. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't.
like
But
if a
you're
CFL
right. I don't know.
if a CFL team could, I don't know if they can, but if they say, "Hey, the Texans are going to pay you $15 million to sign that contract. Come sign with us. We'll pay you $18 million."
Yeah.
I guess he could go sign that contract if that happened.
Well, I mean, honestly, the only team that would make sense for him to sign with is the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, you might as well.
Might as well. All right, so we're up against a commercial break here,
Yes,
Chris America.
Loudbeard.
On the
And
flip side,
I got
Ooh.
something on the flip side.
oh, you do. Let me hear it.
Yeah, Oscar Mayer is coming out with a new food, and we can find out what that is on the other side of the break.
Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter. If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. Ah, 12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Thank you all for listening in and welcome back. Again, we are Scout Team Radio. He's Chris America. I am Loud Beer. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m., right here on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. We also simulcast on the Full Press Radio Network and the Barn Burner Radio Network. We're part of that, that whole thing. Yeah, we are. If you want to get social with us, make sure you hit us up right now on Twitter at Scout Team Radio. We like when you get social. We can talk about your topics, your subjects on air. We've got one topic pending out there on Twitter. Jenny is throwing out some University of Michigan information. We might get into that here in a few minutes. But, not quite yet because we've got a breaking Oscar Mayer story that's going to be coming out. Also,
Yeah.
if you can't catch us live, go ahead and hit us up on demand. You know what I'm talking about. Hit that podcast up. Spotify podcast, Apple podcast, Google Play. Hit us anywhere you can. Just search Scout Team Radio. You can get our show daily on your podcast stream. Just rate, review, subscribe, do all that stuff. That's all we ask. That's not asking too much.
I don't think it's asking too much.
It's not.
So, Ladbird, you ready to hear what this new Oscar Mayer food is that they're coming out with?
Now, the first question I have for you is some of the things that come out Oscar Mayer, it's the term food can be loosely associated with these items.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like Bologna, for example.
Bologna,
Sometimes I
yes.
look at that and I say, is it
Is
a
that really food?
Yeah, or is it they've just taken hooves of every rodent that they found on the road and put it together and
Processed it and
processed it and turned it into something that some people would say is edible. Others may argue.
I haven't had Bologna in a long time. Isn't that the deli meat that has like pieces of plastic wrapped around it?
Yeah. Bologna.
It's been I'm not a fan of Bologna at all.
Well, like I said, it's loosely considered a food.
Yeah. No, this one I guess you can consider it a food, Ladbeard. Now, when you think Oscar Mayer, you think of Bologna, right? Because my Bologna has a first name.
Yep, and then
You also
wieners.
think, you think wieners.
Whoa,
do you
whoa.
think-
This is a family-friendly show. Can you
Yeah,
please
we're
stop
talking about-
talking about wieners?
We're talking about beans and franks. So, Ladbeard, do you think ice cream?
I will say that never popped into my head when I was thinking about Oscar Mayer. Not at all.
I mean, you do think sandwiches, right?
Yep, lunch meat. Yes,
Yep,
Oscar
yes,
Mayer
you
lunch
think,
meat.
You think sandwiches, but not ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, I see where we're going with this.
Yes, they're going to come out with a hot dog ice cream sandwich.
No. Wait.
Now, wait. So
wait,
does
wait.
this
You said
does
hot
this
dog
settle
ice
the
cream
debate?
sandwich?
Yeah. Now, does this settle the debate? Is a hot dog now officially a sandwich, or is Oscar Mayer letting you know that it's always been a sandwich, and now we have a hot dog ice cream sandwich?
Okay, I need a little bit more description here. So, I'm trying to picture this in my head. Like, is it hot dog flavored ice cream, like an ice cream sandwich, or is it like an ice cream sandwich that like looks like a hot dog? I don't know. What is this?
Hold on, I'm tweeting it now. I'm tweeting at Craft Brew Sports because that's one of their questions they like to ask all of their interviewees is a hot dog a sandwich? And I'm saying, see, a hot dog is a sandwich. And then you can check out the tweet and you can see what Oscar Mayer tweeted out.
All right, good point there.
There we go. It's tweeted out. It just says Oscar Mayer ice cream plus giveaway to enter you for your chance to win a box of Oscar Mayer ice cream sandwiches. Or
I feel like
Oscar ice dog sandwiches.
I
They
feel
don't
like
say
you
hot
may have
dog,
tweeted
'cause-
that on your page.
Huh? Oh, I did
Did
tweet
you-
it on my page. Did I?
I was gonna say I'm looking at
Nope.
Scout Team Radio. I see
Nope,
a
it's
guy
on our
dropping
page.
TVs off. Maybe mine's phone is slow this morning.
Yeah. You're slow, Loudbeard.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
Oscar
can't even
Mayer-
tell what that is. It looks all processed and.
I mean, it looks like an ice cream sandwich. It's just got a weird, like, yellow ice cream and then vanilla, and I guess that's chocolate chip.
They're calling it the Oscar Mayer Ice Dog Sandwich.
Ice dog, yeah, because it's not hot. Now, is it going to taste like a hot dog?
I don't know what to say.
Okay, look, they got it broken down. I'm going to retweet their breakdown. They got it broken. They got cookie bun,
Uh-huh.
hot dog sweet ice cream, and candied hot dog bits. Are there really? Oh, and then the yellow is the spicy Dijon gelato. That sounds disgusting. And it says,
I
it
was
says,
thinking the
yes,
same thing.
this is real. Want to try it? DM us to find out how. All right, I'm DMing them, Loudbeard. I'm DM Oscar Meyer.
Slide into those wiener DMs.
Hey, Oscar Meyer, please send our show your, what are they called? Sandwich,
ice dog
dogs?
sandwiches. Ice dog sandwiches. Yep.
Ice dog sandwiches.
We're gonna have to do a video if we get these of us tasting
Oh,
the
we
ice
are.
dog sandwich, because the hot dog is now a sandwich.
Hold on, I'm not done with my message. Hey, Oscar Meyer, please send our, I didn't type out show, I just said our show, XOXO. Got to put it in the XOXO.
Yeah. Hugs
All
and
right, let's see if they respond.
Yeah, well, let's sit here. We're going to wait in silence until they respond till the end of the show.
This is all on Oscar Meyer if they don't respond right now. That our show is in complete silence. I guess we could talk about that Michigan thing that Jenny of Ohio wanted us to talk about.
I like it. I like it. So, Michigan clapping back at Ohio State. You know, we talked about it quite a bit yesterday on the show, but Ohio State, they think they can trademark the word the, like the Ohio State. Well, Michigan comes out, and I think they're trolling Ohio State a little bit here, and they post on their social media of. So is Michigan going to trademark of, like the University of Michigan?
Yeah.
Like that, like the emphasis on that. So Ohio State, take that. Michigan's got a better word than you, and they're taking it, and you can suck it.
So now here's what's hard for me, Loudbeard, with this. When Michigan comes back with these kind of things, I think they're fun. I think they're creative. But then I sit there and I think, but you guys have only won one time in the last 14 years. Should you really be talking trash to your rival right now?
Okay, you bring up a good point. We're coming back to reality. Yes, you still talk trash. Even when you're terrible, you talk trash.
Okay.
You do.
It just doesn't
Now-
land as hard for me.
Yeah.
But I do like it. University of Michigan. I do. I think it's funny
It's well played.
because,
It
know,
is
they're doing
well
that whole the Ohio State. So I got clarification on what they're doing, Loudbeard. They're just wanting to sell T-shirts and hats that just say the word "the" on it.
But they don't. They want to trademark it so nobody else can.
Right. Because you can't spell pretentious without OSU, Loudbeard.
Classic.
Oh, Craft Brewed
Classic.
Sports is finally awake. They've retweeted our tweet. I'm
There
still
you go.
waiting on a response from
Oh.
Oscar Meyer.
Sleeping Giants. Yeah, what's up with that, Oscar Meyer? Why are you not?
If we're up, they should be up. They should be awake monitoring these DMs for these hot off the press ice cream sandwiches.
All right, all right. So while we're waiting for
Oh.
Oscar Meyer,
At Loudbeard, now they have an ice cream Oscar Meyer wiener truck driving around too. And they have the question, would you rather be a hot dogger or an ice dogger?
I'm gonna go with hot dogger because I'm not really sold that this ice dog is gonna be any good. But I like that what they're doing, man. You know what? Oscar Mayer's one of those brands that it could get stale, right? Like in the marketplace. You could be thinking, oh, Oscar Mayer, whatever, it's just known for their Bologna. Now Oscar Mayer's like, wait a second. We've got the Wienermobile, one of the most classic symbols out there for a lunch meat brand, right? Wienermobile. And
Wienermobile, yep.
and hot dogs are now becoming sandwiches. It's a hot debate all over the world. And we're going to go ahead and make our hot dog an ice cream sandwich and use our Wienermobile as a ice cream truck. So Oscar Mayer reinventing themselves, and I like it. I do. I really like it.
I like it too. Now, 5 days ago, they tweeted our DMs have been flooded, so we had to close them. But if you like this post, we'll remind you on 8/14 when the chance to win is. So they better DM us back. We're not just anybody. We're the Scout Team Radio Loudbeard. They'll DM us back.
Yeah, and well, it says check out on the 14th. You know, today's the 15th, right? So
Right.
we've already we've missed that boat. That boat's sailed.
I'll mention that it's my birthday tomorrow, and then it's Mrs. Loudbeard's birthday the next day. Like, they have to respond. Do the right thing. We have a powerful voice here, Oscar Mayer. I want to be behind this ice cream sandwich. Now, they were driving around in their Ice Dog Wienermobile in New York City on the 14th, which, come down to Orlando, man. We need ice cream more than New Yorkers do. It's flipping hot down here.
It's still hot. Like, it doesn't
It's gonna
matter
be
what
hot
time
until
of day.
November.
It's hot every day. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. It is always hot. A little too hot.
Mike Brulon check again, saying that Scotty K is going to be so pissed about the fact that hot dogs are a sandwich.
Yeah, well, sorry, Scotty. That is
Oscar
all
Myers,
up to
Myers,
Oscar
the
Mayer.
authority on hot dogs, right?
It's a very quality point.
They're not the authority; they're a authority in hot dogs. It's like them and maybe Hebrew National,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because they're the ones that do the hot dog eating contest, right? Hebrew National.
Yeah.
Now, which
they
dogs do you prefer, Loudbeard? I am personally a ballpark guy.
Oh, there you go. You're a ballpark guy.
Bun
Honestly,
size.
the Hebrew National ones are really good.
No, the Hebrew National ones are really good.
Yeah, I like those. Those are typically, if we're getting dogs, we get those. Like, if we're buying them for the kids, we'll get whatever is on sale.
Like whatever value brand Walmart.
Right. We're like, this one says great value. And
This
it's
is-
only
this one says
78
left-
cents for a 24 pack.
This says
get those.
mashed up leftover Bologna bits hot dogs.
Yeah. I like when they say all meat. You're like, yeah, all meat. Okay. So, you can get the all beef ones, but the all beef ones, you're like, okay, at least that's coming from an animal I know.
Yeah.
The all meat one, when you get all meat, you don't know where that meat's coming from. It could be any sort of roadkill that they pick
Now,
up off the
have
side of
you
the road.
ever accidentally bought chicken hot dogs and didn't realize it until after you started eating the hot dogs and you're like, what is wrong with this hot dog? And then you go look at the package and it's chicken hot dogs?
I have not, but it sounds like you've intimately had that situation.
No,
happen
me
to you.
neither. Has never happened.
Never once.
Never had that happen to me.
All right.
Nathan does the contest, and they are gross. Oscar Mayer is the TM brand when it comes to hot dogs. So, see, he's saying that Mike Berlon is saying that Oscar is the authority.
Oh, it is Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Why do we say that? But
Oh, it is
I
Nathan.
still eat. I do eat Hebrew National though.
Okay,
That's
Hebrew
that's my
Nationals
go-to.
is good. It is Nathan's, though. He's right.
Yeah. Why did we're crazy this morning? Things are
We
getting
are.
crazy.
We're wild and crazy for a Thursday.
Wacky Thursday. Okay, so I'm gonna get us back into football, man. I can't have enough football. I got to talk football all the time, all day, every day. Travis Kelce, he comes out and he's speaking very highly of his team. He says this Chiefs offense, we can do anything we want. He's displaying a level of confidence in this offense that I have not seen somebody display in a very long time. And the reason for that is because they have the great Patrick Mahomes and they have the fast receiving core with Tyreek Hill and company. And I don't know, Chris America. I was reading this, and I don't like it when players are like too cocky and too confident going into the season. But I would say that this is one team that we could be seeing one of the greatest offenses of all time getting on the field this season. Am I overreacting?
You're talking about Kansas City, right?
Yep, you know them, Chiefs.
No,
Chief
you're not
dogs.
overreacting. I mean, they were one of the best offenses last season, and I don't see that changing. They go against the Raiders twice a year. They go against a Broncos team that's sort of lost their defensive identity over the last 3 or 4 seasons. And, do we think of the Chargers as a great defensive team? I know they were decent on defense, but nothing that you were like, oh, man, you got to pick them up first as a defense in your draft for fantasy football. So those are their first 6 games. Or not their first 6 games. Those are 6 games that they have to play. And I'm sure they play some other really bad AFC teams. And I'm not sure which NFC division that the AFC West plays this year. But, yeah, they're going to be a hard defense or a hard offense to beat, especially since Tyreek Hill is back. They're going to have to play or they're going to have to replace Kareem Hunt. I don't feel like they really found a guy to replace Kareem Hunt last year, but they made it work with the guys that they had. Now they've had a whole offseason to get these guys up to speed. Did they draft a running back at all, Loudbeard, or did they pick anybody else up, or are they rolling with the guys they had from the end of last season?
As you were saying that, I was kind of thinking, man, who's their running back? I honestly have no idea. I should know this. But really, the running back I think is going to be inconsequential. That offense, like the wide receiving core, is so fast. Patrick Mahomes is so shifty. That defense, whatever defense they play, is going to focus so much on that the running back is going to have opportunities. So whether it is some no-name Joe Schmo or just some journeyman or whatever it ends up being, it really isn't going to matter because they're going to be successful no matter what, because this offense, they if they're anything like what they were last year, they're going to be able to impose their will onto any NFL defense in the league. Any defense.
Now, a lot of people are like, it's only one season. I can't say anything about this season for Patrick Mahomes. There's the sophomore slump. If you cannot evaluate Patrick Mahomes, the football player, in one season, I don't know what you're doing being an analyst. Like, the guy showed everything he needed to show to be a good quarterback or to be a great quarterback. This isn't like Sam Darnold or, I don't know, even your boy Lamar Jackson out there in Baltimore, where they showed struggles and they showed promise. They showed struggles, they showed promise. Like, it was basically mostly all promise from Patrick Mahomes last season. He showed that he's not a quarterback that's just getting lucky. He's a guy that just knows what he's doing and how to do it.
I can't argue. Everything you say is so true and so accurate. I don't have nothing else I can even add to that point. It was just beautifully said, Chris America. Good job.
It was.
Congratulations. This was big news.
Hold on.
Ahead.
Before you give that, I want to give Mike Berlon the opportunity to let us know what's going on tonight's show. Thursday nights is Craft Brewed Sports Nights, and I know he's got to take his Fire and Ice shot. Now that there's an ice cream hot dog sandwich, I wish he had a chance to buy one of those, and like maybe we can work that into the Hell is Real. If we can get our hands on one of those hot dogs, ice cream sandwich hot dogs, we can work that into that new bet with Mike Berlon and Jenny of Ohio. But go ahead, Mike, and give us another opportunity to tweet out, and we'll read it at the end of the show. And then, I'm sorry, Loudbeard, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just thinking about those candied pieces of hot dogs and that Dijon gelato.
Mustard ice cream gelato.
Sounds delicious. Absolutely delicious. Big news, Chris America. Football is coming back to St. Louis.
Okay.
Yes. The MLS has decided an expansion, and St. Louis will be adding their football team, or soccer, if you would like to call it here in America, to St. Louis. So 2022 is the targeted inaugural season for St. Louis. So, yeah, St. Louis is getting football again. I bet they're excited.
Is there a demand for more MLS teams? I feel like if I'm an MLS owner, I would be pissed that we're continuously watering down our TV deal by adding all of these teams. Well, now, you're gaining more markets, but I don't know if the markets are wanting them.
The MLS has a plan to get to 30 teams. Right now they're at 27. They're also rumored to have Sacramento as a possible future expansion spot. But, yeah, their goal is to get up to 30 teams. So I think they want to compete with, you got baseball, you've got NFL, you've got hockey. Like, all these leagues have 30-plus teams, right?
Yes.
30 or 32.
But all those teams, all those leagues have been around for 100 years, and all those leagues, like, slowly built up to that number.
Yeah, but MLS is growing fast, man. They're
adding
adding teams in left and right.
I mean, they are growing fast. Like, they're making themselves grow fast. I just don't know if their viewership is growing fast. I mean, I don't know the numbers. I know that our numbers in Orlando City have been dwindling. Like, I watched a little bit of the game last night against Sporting KC, and that stadium just had so many empty seats. Now, it was a rainy day yesterday, and our team, I think, is now 8th seed. So, I mean, we're a playoff team as of right now, and we're not getting fans of the show out like they did 2 or 3 years ago, Loudbeard.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, when there's a lot of empty seats, that isn't always a good sign, but that's okay.
What percentage of Americans, Loudbeard, do you think could name you 8 or 9 MLS teams? without
10%?
naming the team in
5%?
their city.
5%, 4%?
Yeah, probably 5%.
1%? I don't know, something like that. All right, Mike Berlon, he tweeted back at us. He's giving us some situational stuff going on tonight on Craft Brewed Sports, 8:30. You can catch him on their Facebook Live feed, or you can catch him right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. He says they've got a rep coming in from Artifact Beer, which is one of their local breweries, coming in tonight to help out with their Sour Beer Month, which has been ongoing, and debuting a new game with Scotty K called Which One that should be a good time. And hopefully, he
What
gets
is this
some
hopefully
punishment in.
stuff? What is
I
this
don't know
hopefully
why
stuff?
that word was put in there. That seems
Yeah,
like a unnecessary word in this whole.
It's going to happen, and I think he should do it while the rep from Artifact Beer is there.
Yes. Thank you for bringing in your delicious sour beer. Let me chug a Smirnoff Ice in front of you. On that
After I
note,
take a shot of Fireball.
Fireball, fire nice.
Fireball.
We love you guys. Great show. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Loudbeard, it's my last show at 35.
Old man.
Old man America.